to talk about financial literacy. Chapter 1, learning the language. Financial literacy. So, you know, I'm an all around YouTuber, so to speak. I do videos on spirituality, I do videos on the stuff that go on in Hollywood, I do music, art. I talk about the stuff that's going on in the world, just different stuff. But I want to actually start getting back into reality, even though all those things tie into reality. I'm talking about actual physical reality, So I told people my story and stuff like that. Come from a very rough background, not looking for sympathy, just to share my testimony because my testimony can help somebody else. A lot of people probably going through the same stuff I went through or similar scenarios, and they feel that there's nobody out there that can relate to them. So they just suffer in silence, and you don't have to suffer in silence. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start doing videos on financial literacy. I have a certification in financial literacy, but it's just something basic. You know what I'm saying? But so like I said, growing up, I didn't have that perfect household trinity. You see what I'm saying? Like I didn't have nobody to teach me about finances and liabilities and assets and net worth. I didn't have people to teach me about that. So I'm learning as I go. You see what I'm saying? I'm not better than nobody. I'm not trying to be better than nobody. You see what I'm saying? For some reason, I feel that I have to explain these things to people because people get your words misconstrued. And I hope you can hear me. I said YouTube has been messing with my sound. People keep saying, you need to do this, you need to do that psychic vampire video over. That was my second time redoing it. If you can't hear it, I'm not doing that shit over. I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying? I'm not doing it over. That was my second time. I keep telling you, YouTube messed with my channel. If you're on my Patreon, I'm going to be doing a lot of more videos on my Patreon soon because YouTube is not even what people think it is. YouTube is an agency now where they work with the FBI, the CIA, local police departments. They work with different places to try to find people that's basically like incriminate themselves. So you need to be aware of that. You're dropping all these knowledge. Shout out to shout out to the elder, newest knowledge in life. He made a video a couple months back talking about a lot of melanated YouTubers have agents assigned to our channels, and that's a fact. So just for him to be able to keep that, shout out to newest knowledge in life again. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the elder. He was saying he made a video months back saying that melanated YouTubers have agents assigned to our page because YouTube is the agency now. I'm trying to put this together for you. So I'm gonna start talking about more stuff that's more important. I mean, don't get me wrong, spirituality and the stuff that's going on in the world is more important. But you have a soul, you have a passion, but you cannot get caught up into what's going on all around the world because I know it sounds messed up. I'm looking outside too. But I know it sounds messed up. Like we can't save the world. I know it sounds horrible and all that. We can't save the world because if we get focused on trying to help other people all the time and get focused on, and I'm not saying help, and I'm not saying don't help nobody. I'm giving you an example. Like if we always focus on somebody else's life and we focus on all the problems that's going on in the world, then we start to lose the focus on ourselves and what's really important in our physical, immediate realities. You see what I'm saying? So I want to bring it back to the physical world. I want to talk about financial literacy. I want to talk about the foreign exchange market. But we're gonna start, step by step. We're gonna start with chapter 1. And I'm reading off this book that I got from Job Corps. And I had this book for 3 years now. And me, I never really read off anything. I just go off freestyle. But you see what I'm saying? So I'm actually gonna be reading off this book. Just to give some people out there some game, because I know a lot of people out there like, why don't you never talk about finances and stuff like that? You see what I'm saying? And it's like I'm gonna just start talking about finances, assets, liabilities. It's called Chapter 1, Learning the Language, and that's what it's all about. Because like I said, I didn't have that perfect household trinity. Where people telling you, hey, you should do this, you should do that. This is the right thing to do. The influences I always seen in my life was people smoking, drinking, prostituting women out, calling women out their name. And I'm not saying that that's the way to go. I'm telling you the things that I have experienced, the things that I've been through. That's not the only stuff that I have been through. but at immediate childhood, them the only influence you get. If you come from an urban area like me, you come from an area like Chicagoland area, where it's a beautiful place, but at one point in time, it was very beautiful, very lovely people. But then things happened, and the city just got divided quickly, and you don't have no more role models and stuff like that. You go outside, you see people smoking and drinking 24/7. Ain't nobody telling you how to buy a house. Shit. Ain't nobody ain't nobody telling you about net worth and liabilities. Ain't nobody telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just want you to see it from my point of view. I'm not using it as an excuse. That's just the bold, honest truth. Some people can handle the truth, some people cannot. But that's why I really wasn't talking about finances. Like, I know a little bit here and there, but I'm not gonna say I'm a guru with it. I'm learning as I go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm teaching y'all as I go. You see what I mean? Because I wish I had somebody to teach me about finances and stuff like that, and assets and liabilities and net worth and different things like that. But I'm gonna start talking about stuff like this. Hope y'all can hear me. I really do. I'm not whispering. And yeah, man, wake the damn up. So we gonna talk about building financial wealth, financial literacy. Some people out there cannot read. Some people out there cannot actually do math. They can't count. And I'm not saying that's funny. It's not funny at all. You mark my words. It is not funny. If I can teach you in any way, I'm not trying to do that to belittle anybody. If I could teach you or you can learn something from me, that's good because I learn something from people every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's not about making fun of nobody. We all learn at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Whether you 80 years old, whether you 25 years old, or whether you in between, or whether you younger. You know what I'm saying? We all can learn from somebody, and we all still learning every day. So, I'm just go over this chapter. We're going to read a little bit off this book and stuff like that, okay? I hope y'all can hear me. So, all right. So, chapter 1, I hope y'all can hear me. Chapter 1, learn the language, right? So, assets minus liabilities. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just start from the top. I'm gonna just start from the top, all right? So, if you make a good income each year and spend it all, you are not getting wealthier. You are just living high. That is a quotation in this book by a man named Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko, The Millionaire Next Door. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna repeat this again for you. If you make a good income each year and spend it all, you are not getting wealthier. You are just living high. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Okay, let's read from the top. You want to create personal wealth, right? So does Anthony. Anthony is 35. Y'all can see me. Anthony is, sorry, you know me, I really don't really read stuff off the top. I go off the top, but like I said, I don't know finances like off the top of my dome. I could just talk about it like that. So I'm reading, work with me, work with me, it's just funny. But look though, so Anthony is 35, and y'all can see me. Anthony is 35 and works for a manufacturing company. He looked at his finances and realized that at the rate he was going, there wouldn't be enough money to meet his family's financial goals. So he chose to embark on a personal wealth creation strategy. His first major step was to pick up a copy of this workbook for guidance, which is the same workbook I'm reading off of. Was to pick up this workbook for guidance. Anthony began by learning the language, which is chapter 1 right now. Learning the language of wealth creation. The first lesson was to understand the meaning of assets, liabilities, and net worth. You see what I'm saying? The first lesson to understand the meaning of assets, liabilities, and net worth, right? So let's get into it. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. People always talk about these rappers worth 50 million. 50 Cent worth 3 billion. Jay-Z worth a couple billion. This and that. These rappers, no. A lot of these rappers, it's an image. A lot of these rappers are living high, like in this quotation right here. See what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see that. But in that quotation there, you see what I'm saying? A lot of rappers are just living high. They're not getting wealthy. I'm not saying all of them. But in America, they use these rappers as a way to get people into these jail systems by telling them to do all this crazy stuff. And then they get you just to spend all your money on dumb stuff. They never tell you how to build wealth. And a lot of these rappers, they net worth is not 50 billion. Like some people may say Steph Curry worth 50 million. That's only on paper. Stocks and bonds, he's only worth that much on paper. Shout out to Steph Curry. That's one of my favorite basketball players. I'm not dissing him. I'm giving you an example. On paper, he's worth that much, but in reality, he's worth however much his assets minus his liabilities. Liabilities is your debt. You see what I'm saying? Real shit. We finna get into it, man. We finna get into it. So assets minus liabilities equals net worth. Your net worth is how much you really worth. You see what I'm saying? That's after you add up, after you subtract your assets and your liabilities, that equals your net worth. After you subtract your assets and your liabilities, and whatever you have left is how much you're worth, which is your net worth. People keep saying, oh, they worth this much. That's only on paper, stocks and bonds. They only really worth however much they're given, so to speak. So let's get to it, right? A wealth creating asset is a possession that generally increases value or provides a return. Can you hear me? You see what I'm saying? I wish I had family members that were doing the right thing and teaching me about finances and shit. So I'm sorry I keep switching around. I'm just trying to. I feel like how long I'm gonna pull up a chair. All right, we back in the game. I hope y'all can hear me because I'm not redoing this video over. I'm dropping so many jewels like the store Osco. No, that's funny. But I really do hope you guys can hear me. So we're reading again, right? So assets minus liabilities equals net worth, right? So what is an asset? Follow along with me. An asset, a wealth creating asset. You hear me? A wealth creating asset is a possession that generally increases in value or provides a return, such as a savings account, a retirement plan, stocks and bonds, a house. Let me repeat that one more time for you. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. A wealth creating asset is a possession that generally increases in value or provides a return, such as a savings account, a retirement plan, stocks and bonds, a house. All those things I named are examples of an asset. An asset is a possession that generally increases value or provides a return. Those things I just named are assets and they provide a return, or they increase in value. One of the two, they either increase in value or they provide a return. That's an asset. Okay, let's read more. Some possessions, like your car, household furnishings, and clothes, are assets, but they aren't wealth creating assets because they don't earn money or rise in value. So it's two different things, right? A wealth creating asset. Oh snap! Hold on, let's underline that. Oh, I got a pen right here. Let's underline that. A wealth creating asset, because a lot of people probably thinking like, this dude only talk about this. I know a lot of people out there probably like, this dude only talks about this outer space stuff. This stuff is not real. This shit is real, but we gonna bring it back to reality, and we gonna talk about financial literacy. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to help my people and myself, gain wealth. You see what I'm saying? And actually learn how to be financial literate and self-sufficient of the system. Okay. So let's underline that. So a wealth creating asset is two different things between an asset and a wealth creating asset. Can you hear me? It's a difference between an asset and a wealth creating asset, right? Oh snap. So let's get into it, right? Let's read this one more time. A wealth creating asset is a possession that generally increases in value or provides a return, such as a savings account, a retirement plan, stocks and bonds, a house. Those things I just named are wealth creating assets. They are different from regular assets. What is a regular asset? Let's read. Some possessions, like your car, household furnishings, and clothes, are assets. Those are regular assets. Your car, your household furnishings, your couch, your bed, all the other furniture you got in your house, your chairs, those are regular assets. In clothes, you see the shirt I got on? That's an asset, but it's not a wealth creating asset because it doesn't hold on because it doesn't increase in value or it doesn't provide a return. It's just an asset. So let's keep reading. Some possessions like your car, household furnishings, and clothes are assets, but they are not wealth creating assets because they do not earn money or rise in value. A car drops in value the second it's driven off the lot. Your car is a tool that takes you to work, but it's not a wealth creating asset. You see what I'm saying? So when you buy a car, let's say you bought a car for let's say you are a young up and coming rapper. You just signed a $15 million deal. Some people might not really they might not be able to comprehend that because they probably not from that type of culture. But my culture is hip hop, higher infinite power healing people. Higher infinite power healing our people. That's what hip hop stands for. That's my culture. People might not understand that, but hip hop is a culture, you know what I'm saying? So in my culture, you have some people that has talent or so to speak or whatever the case may be, and they meet the right people, they've been working hard or whatever, and let's say they actually get that big break, they got a hit song, a hit record or something like that, or they got a mixtape or an actual album that's actually a hit, and let's say they get offered a $15 million deal. You see what I'm saying? So let's say they buy a car for 3 million. You know what I'm saying? Let's say they buy a brand new Lamborghini for 3 million, like a 2020 Lamborghini or something for 3 million. Soon as they drive that Lamborghini off the lot, it is the value goes down by 50%. So that Lamborghini that was worth 3 million, as soon as he drove it off the lot, is now worth 1.5 million. That's just how it goes. That's just a regular asset. It's not a wealth creating asset. So let's read again. I know I keep repeating this because I have some people that might be slower than others, and some people probably cannot hear me. So, some possessions like your car, household furnishings, and clothes are assets, but they are not wealth creating assets because they do not earn money or rise in value. A new car drops in value the second it's driven off the lot. Your car is a tool that takes you to work, but it's not a wealth creating asset, right? So, for example, something else that's a wealth creating asset is like gold or silver or copper because they rise in value and they could provide a return because it's actually an element or aka a mineral from the earth that actually has a lot of value to it. And due to the stocks and markets and the supply and demand of gold and silver and all that, the prices go up and down. You see what I mean? I don't know exactly what the prices on gold and silver is now, but I'm giving you an example of another wealth creating asset. So let's talk about liabilities, right? People always use this word liability. Let's talk about a liability. A liability, also called debt. That's what liability is, debt. Right? You know how you in debt, you owe somebody some money? That's a liability. A liability, also called debt, is money you owe, such as a home mortgage, credit card balances, a car loan, hospital and other medical bills, student loans. Let me repeat that one more time. A liability, also called debt, is money you owe, such as a home mortgage, credit card balances, a car loan, hospital and other medical bills, student loans are all liabilities. They are all debt, right? They're all debt. So here's in a book they give you those little, they give you like little ideas or whatever. The little sections at the bottom or whatever. So this one is called home equity. The market value The market value of a home is an asset. The mortgage is a liability. So the market value of a home is an asset, but the mortgage of it, which means a home mortgage, you have to pay that off. That's a liability. That's a debt. So let's say your house is worth $120,000, but your mortgage is $80,000. That means your equity in your home is $40,000, which contributes to your net worth. So totally, let's say, right, your house is worth $120,000, but the mortgage you have to pay on it is $80,000. So what's $120,000 minus $80,000? What's 12? What's 12 minus 8? That's 4. That's 40,000, right? So the equity on your house is only worth 40,000. Some people, I got this house and your house only worth 40,000 because you have to do your assets minus your liabilities equals your net worth. You see what I'm saying? So, we can read that again one more time. So, the market value of a home is an asset. The mortgage is a liability. A liability is a debt. An asset is something, well, let's say a wealth creating asset is a possession that generally increases in value. A house, like in the example before, a house is a wealth creating asset. But at the same time, you have a liability, which is a mortgage. So the market value of your home is an asset. The mortgage is a liability, which is a debt. Let's say your house is worth $120,000, but your mortgage is $80,000. That means the equity in your home is $40,000. Equity contributes to your net worth. You see what I'm saying? So, all right, let's go to the second page. Let's talk about net worth. Net worth is the difference between your assets. What is an asset? What you own. Let me repeat that one more time. Hold on. Net worth is the difference between your assets, what you own, and your liabilities, what you owe, right? Your net worth is the difference between your assets. So when people say my net worth, this is what net worth means. Your net worth is the difference between your assets, what you own, and your liabilities, what you owe. Liabilities is what you owe, which is debt. Assets is what you own. So what you own and what you owe. You subtract that and that equals your net worth, how much you're really worth. To calculate how much he is worth, Anthony used the following formula. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. He made a balance sheet listing all his assets, what he owned, and all his liabilities, what he owed. He listed his wealth building assets first, right? So his wealth building assets is cash. He got $1,500 in cash. His savings account, he has $1,000. In stocks and bonds and other investments, he has $5,000. In his 401k retirement plan / IRA, he has $25,000. Market value of a home, $0. Other assets, nothing. Market value of his car, $14,000. So when you add all that up, his total assets is $46,000. You see what I'm saying? So let's repeat that. So Anthony, that's the guy they using as a character in his book to give you an example. So Anthony balance sheet. Anthony discovered his net worth. Hold on. Okay. So Anthony listed all his wealth building assets first. So let's go over this again. Cash, he has $1,500. Savings account, he has $1,000. Stocks, bonds, and other investments, he has $5,000. 401k retirement plan / IRA. In this country, Australia, is known as a super. Same difference. He has $25,000 in his 401k. Market value of his home, $0. Other assets, blank. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm tweaking. I'm sorry, that's my fault. Other assets, value of his car, $14,000. So his total assets is $46,000. $46,500. That's how much his total assets is. So let's go to his liabilities. His home mortgage, $0. Home equity loan, $0. Car loan balance, $13,000. Credit card balances, $3,000. Student loan, $5,000. Miscellaneous liabilities is $1,500. So his total liabilities is $22,500. His total assets is $46,500. So remember, the net worth is the difference between your assets. Your assets is what you own, what you actually own, and your liabilities is what you owe. That is your net worth. So his assets is $46,500. His liabilities is $22,500. So you subtract that. His total net worth is $24,000. You see what I'm saying? So when you get that base sheet, that's what his net worth is. And I will show you that right now so you can read it for yourself. don't know if y'all was able to exactly see that, but it's a chart and it's explaining that. So remember, your assets is what you actually own. Liabilities is what you owe. When you subtract your assets minus your liabilities, that equals your net worth. So all together, his total assets, everything he owned, equals 46,500. Then his total liabilities, everything that he owes, is 22,500. 46,500 minus 22,500 is $24,000 in his net worth. So his total net worth is 24K. All right, so that was chapter 1, learning the language. You see what I'm saying? We're going to do more videos like this. You know, I hope y'all can hear me. You know, like I said, we're going to start taking this back to, you know, the actual physical realm, teaching my people, you know, how to build financial wealth, financial literacy. What's the difference between an asset? What's the difference between a liability? And what is net worth? So I hope you learned something from chapter 1 today. And chapter 2 will be coming soon. You know, love yourself, be yourself. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can do something. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't do something. You are the great minds of the future. See what I'm saying? Wake the damn up. More videos coming.